everybody. I am totally stoked to bring you somebody. This is kind of like a surprise, last minute, exciting thing. Let me give you a little bit of an introduction first. So all my life, probably not all my life, since my adult life, probably since my early 20s, I've been in mastermind groups, both paid and not paid. And paid is even better just because like it's formal and there's so much juice in masterminds. And a lot of people don't even know what masterminds are. But I'm a freakazoid about them. I can't live without them because for me, there's no better place to get feedback and grow yourself and grow your business and like just stretch yourself into new territory in a safe, confined place. And I lead masterminds in my business. It's my highest ticket item besides one-on-one coaching. And I can honestly say my personal mastermind that I lead took me out of barely kind of scraping by into relief. And ever since I've been doing masterminds, I love them. My people love them. And I don't know, it works. So my friend Jay Fiset is an expert in masterminds and has done some very cool things that I would have never even thought of. So we were kind of emailing back and forth over the last couple of days. And before that, we were actually in a mastermind for the weekend for 3 days. And I thought, we should talk about this. Let's do an interview. So I'm literally in my workout clothes, just back from getting my butt kicked from my trainer. And I have the awesome Jay Fiset with us today. So he's going to tell you a little bit about masterminds, and we're just going to banter back and forth. This is totally unscripted. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I know it's going to be good.
Well, I truly love that because you're straight out of working out, and I haven't worked out in 3 weeks while we've been getting this project out into the world, and it's like, good God, I need to work out in the worst way. But I just want to say thank you so much for having me on this little chat because you and I have a similar background in terms of personal development, which I think is a natural segue in terms of the depth and the relationships that happen in masterminds. And masterminds done well are the single greatest thing in the universe. Masterminds done poorly are the biggest pain in the ass in the universe. And I just want to serve and support coaches, trainers, authors, entrepreneurs to integrate masterminds into their business models because I think it's batshit crazy not to.
Okay, I don't want to assume that everybody watching even knows what a mastermind is. I know a lot of people have heard of it, but they don't really get what that means in terms of in a business model.
Yes.
So can you kind of just lay the foundation?
Absolutely. So I'm just going to back up the bus to answer that question for a moment or two, which is this, is that, so I've been in the personal, professional training world for a quarter century. And in that time frame, I have always been a part of masterminds, even though at the beginning they were really called masterminds. You know, they were intense training groups, they were facilitator development groups, they were business development groups, but they're always masterminds. And so here's what a mastermind is. And Napoleon Hill actually coined the phrase in the book Think and Grow Rich. By the way, any of you who are not reading Think and Grow Rich on a regular basis, for goodness sakes, get that on your bedside table, read it annually. It is a brilliant book, ahead of its time. So really what a mastermind group is a small group of people that come together. It can be any format, it can be any structure, it can be any time frame, but to focus on serving and supporting one another to take their next step. That could be business, that could be physical health, that could be entrepreneurship, that could be relationships, doesn't matter, but take their next step of evolving and creating the results that they want. Now, there's lots of mechanical things to it, and I teach a process about how to launch a mastermind in a program called Launch Your Mastermind 90-Day Bootcamp that has a bunch of mechanical pieces to it. But the thing that Napoleon Hill said so well, which is 1,000% true, is that a real mastermind, when it really, really works, and I think this is why you love it, Jeanna, I'm anxious to hear your perspective on this, is that a real mastermind, when it's knocking it out of the park, is actually a spiritual process. It is this space between a group of people who are willing to stand for the best in one another, even when the other person may not be able to take that stand themselves, and where we are dedicated to lifting as we climb, serving and supporting a group and a community that we care about and we'll go to the mat for.
I agree. So what y'all don't know is this mastermind that we were just in over the weekend, out of over 40 peers, Jay and I were the only ones who got up on the hot seat and got like this masterminding all around us and tons of feedback. And I have to say, I just came home and I was on the phone with not my personal trainer, my wealth coach. And we were talking about things that we're doing in our business to up level and create wealth. And I said, I just got in front of a bunch of my peers, and the advice that I got and the support that I got was probably saved me years off of learning curves to take my business to like crazy levels. And it was a little bit scary, right? You're a little bit vulnerable, letting people in fully to see you and your business. And I don't know about you, but people wrote me all the notes of like the advice, right? That they liked best, the feedback that they think that we should implement. And I was pouring through my notes yesterday and I thought, oh my God, this is huge and appreciated. Like people wrote some of the sweetest stuff, you know, like, Jeanna, no matter what, I will always support you and promote you. I love you. I'm like, oh my God, thank you. And some like the best business strategies from people who are light years beyond me in my business. And I was like, crap, I probably should have paid about 50 grand for that advice. That is badass.
Well, and I mean, in all seriousness, we are blessed to be a part of that group, and we're blessed to have that opportunity. But the honest to God truth is, the wisdom and the coaching rates of the people in that room is I don't think we could buy that for $50,000. No, like if we actually aggregated all those pieces, it was probably $250,000. And I was actually just looking for my little black book that I have been pouring through. I was going to show you all of the scribbles in it. Anyway, that gives you an idea of how busy I've been, because I have been pouring through it. And anyway, it doesn't matter. But the truth of the matter is this: is we finished that mastermind. It was like within the first, for me, it was like in the first hour of the program, and we're in the middle of introducing this program. And it's like, these ideas are about 3 weeks of work, and I want to do them all. And of course, there's not enough time to do them all. But it was brilliant. And even this conversation was a direct result of Lisa Sasevich saying, hey, these conversations were some of the coolest ways to expand the reach and to just give value to our list about things they're interested in. And it's like, oh, of course, that's brilliant. Why, like, I'd never thought of it. So even this conversation was a result of that. So that was like beautiful. But I did think it was funny, quite honestly, that I was actually in a mastermind in San Diego, or attempting to be in a mastermind in San Diego, while I was also doing 4 live trainings about masterminds, which went stunningly well. I just felt like it was like, I do my training, then I got to go find out what's going on. Then I do my training, go find out what's going on. But the beauty of it is every time I did that, I could bring that back to live training and say, here's a real live example. Just now, this conversation made this difference in somebody's life. And if you can start building those communities and creating and leading masterminds where you get to pick, choose, where you're the gatekeeper of this, literally sacred and precious community, the influence, the connection, the support, and what I would just call the quantum acceleration is absolutely stunning. And my stand is, and I think you have this same stand and I have this stand, which is this: every single coach, trainer, entrepreneur, and author should both be leading masterminds and participating in masterminds. Doing one or the other isn't enough. It has to be both. And, some masterminds ain't so grand. Some are exceptional, like what we participate. But I just wanted to remove that mystery and to let people know how to do it. Because I've spent 25 years coaching coaches, training facilitators, developing what we call mastermind mentors. And, on the one hand, it's not that complex when you know the path. On the other hand, launching a mastermind is a freaking minefield if you don't know what you're doing. Like, it's like everything's going along good, and then all of a sudden the group explodes.
Yeah, so let me give an example of what happens when a mastermind doesn't work. The very first year, I decided to finally launch a mastermind of my own to facilitate. I thought I was doing a good job of setting it up, and actually not one single person signed up.
Ouch.
I was devastated, and I thought, oh my God, because I decided I was going to do a mastermind when I was pregnant with my second baby, and I thought, I can't work with all these one-on-one clients anymore. Like, I already have one little boy. Adding 2 to the mix is really going to cut back my hours. I was desperate to find a way to leverage my time. That's the whole reason that inspired a mastermind. I can't work with one-on-one clients. I need a high-ticket something where I still get to coach people and be engaged and keep making more money than I've been making and work less time. And when it bombed, I thought, oh man, now I could not think of another way to leverage my time. The good news is that I regrouped, switched a lot of things, and the next one was great. And every year they keep getting better. And I got to say, it's every single year since that moment, I've been doubling my income and being a mom. It was seriously, I consider Masterminds my lifesaver. It's funny, I just thought of that just now. All this time we've been talking about Mastermind, I'm like, oh my God, Masterminds kind of saved my life, my business after I had kids.
Well, Jeanna, I just want so anyone who's listening to this, trying to figure out how am I going to scale? What is the fastest, easiest, and most joyful way to grow my business? Honest to God, the answer is so simple. It is Masterminds. I did a bunch of free content, which I really appreciate you sharing that free content on the easy. And I'm going to guess a bunch of the people who are listening to this got some of that content. But I went through and I rated all the different ways to scale a business. And Masterminds is by far and away the easiest, fast, and most joyful. So can I ask you a Snoopy question?
Snoop,
so when you say,
sure.
when I changed a whole bunch of things, what would you say, looking objectively, was the most significant shift from the mastermind that flopped and the mastermind that began to build that foundation of freedom? Because these are the landmines that I think most people go, it's like, well, I'm just going to do mastermind. I know how to do that, and then it bites them in the ass. And you show me yours, I'll show you mine.
I gotta say, this is probably not something that you teach, but what I noticed for me is I felt like I had done all the right marketing things. I think I was so desperate and attached to it working out that I was not like inviting people in. I was trying to like, you have to do this mastermind with me was the energy. I didn't say that, but in my mind is, I have to do this because I have to leverage my time. And people, I got some, weird advice about not putting the price on the page. And it didn't feel good to me. Like in my heart, I think it scared people because they're like, I was so afraid because you didn't put the price on the page that it was ginormous. And I thought, it's not even that much money. This is like a deal compared to what I'm going to give. So I did it in a way that was congruent for my brand. And my first mastermind took off. And what's interesting about a mastermind is it can totally bump up your income and you don't even have to have that many people in it. Like I usually have anywhere from 8 to 10 people in my mastermind. I don't need more than that. In fact, last year I'd made a mental note, like, you know what? I'm going to see if I can pull off a mastermind without even really marketing it. And I did. I didn't do a campaign for it. I, set up my funnel to support the master. It just was such an easy thing, like no sales. It was almost like people just came, like, oh yeah, I know I want to be in your mastermind. I already decided I want to be in your mastermind. I love you. I want to be in your mastermind. I'm like, come on in. Let's have a conversation.
That honest to God. So when you were saying, you're not sure that we teach this, so I just want to comment on it because it's exactly. So in the live training that we've been doing, I go through the 3 mistakes that coaches and trainers make trying to launch masterminds. And the first mistake is a lack of commitment. And here's the thing about this, is people go, well, so let me get a contract. We'll make sure that, all that stuff. And it's like, whoa, actually, that's not where the commitment starts. Where most people screw up the commitment is in chasing clients. Because what happens is that like, I need Jeanna. And then, there's that distance or pursuer thing, right? So as much as we push, and then finally, if somebody says yes, the dynamics of the relationship and the power base is already skewed. So if you've been like the chasing puppy all the way through, now all of a sudden you're going to be, hey, I'm the mastermind leader and I'm going to rock your world. It just doesn't work. It's just not a hope in hell. And that chasing piece kills more masterminds before they ever start. So no, we're in total agreement. And one of the things we teach is this thing called Affiliate Masterminds with Ease, which is actually, I used to call it wine, conversations, and cash. Because the thing about it is that there's never I never do this big campaign either. It's like, you know what? This is the position of the mastermind. This is the ideal member. And who is that person? And I will just pick up the phone and say, hey, Sally said we should know one another. And this is why I'm doing this. Why don't you come to my house? And there's going to be a cool group of people. We're going to do a little bit of masterminding, get to know one another, see if there's any other opportunities for us, see what happens. But when you come, you have to bring red wine because we'll drink some. And we don't drink white, so it has to be red. So literally, I invite people to my place. They bring wine. We do a little mastermind thing, and that fills my masterminds like that. And I just do them when I want a couple more people. So there's no marketing, you don't need infusions. And one of the giveaways that I think your crew already has is that Fill Your Mastermind Leads is 22 pages of how to set that whole thing up and just do anti-tech. Pick up the damn phone, invite someone for developing a relationship, and if there's a fit, say, hey, you think so? And they say yes. Like, it's not rocket science. But but the difference is, by the time that happens, they are pursuing me. I'm not pursuing them. Mm. So yeah, I totally, I'm with you all together. So I'll share you.
Why I love Jay, by the way. Do you see why I love Jay? Because he's like me. He likes to have fun and he likes to make it easy while making an impact. We don't have to struggle in this thing called build your business and rock other people's worlds.
Yes. Although I do fairly regularly do crazy shit.
This is true.
But one of the things that my clients, I actually have a bunch of clients, I have a premium mastermind called the Online Business Breakthrough. And they're very, very clear that part of what they pay me for is my crazy shit. It's like, so if you wreck that, if you screw that up, I'm going to learn everything. I'm going to leapfrog that, all the rest of it. It's like, that's absolutely the deal that we have. And I'm totally cool with it. But this would be my biggest mastermind fiasco. And it was an internal issue, not an external issue. And some background probably will make some sense to it. So my core company does personal transformation work. So this is internal deep work. I know that you've got a history and a background in that same type of work. And I love that work. I love it. But I've been doing it for about 20 years. And I was ready for a change. It's like, I want to do something different. A dear friend of mine, a gentleman I actually trained as a facilitator, had started doing these retreats and these masterminds, and he invited me to come play. All reasonably high net worth people, so $3 million to $10 million net worth. We would travel the world. We went to South Africa, had dinner with F.W. de Klerk, after he won the Nobel Peace Prize. Like, we did cool shit. But here's the thing that boggled my brain is I had this fantasy, I guess the best way that I can put it, that because these people made more money, because these people were paying $24K a year, is that we wouldn't have the same sort of low-level drama stuff. And that we have, with the people that are paying $1,000 to take course. These people, they're going to be further along the road. And the honest to God truth was, and this was the part that I just have to acknowledge, I was wrong. It was my expectations, all those pieces. But the reality is this: is that my projections and expectations of how I thought they would be was so wrong that I found myself in judgment and not being the leader that I could be. Because I just expected it to be different. And the honest to God truth was, it was exactly the same as my crew at the $1,000. It's just that we didn't drink as good a wine and we weren't in as nice a places, but it was exactly the same thing, which is fine, except I had a different expectation. And it was one of my lessons of, you know what? I got to drop my expectations. I just got to come to this thing to serve. Whether they're paying $97 a month or whether they're paying $24K a year, matters not. I got to meet them where they're at. And that was a really significant lesson for me. And I guess the thing why I share that is for any of you at home, just know that a mastermind, you could have a mastermind of 10 people at $100 a month, and it adds, $10,000, $12,000. It's like fun. And if you're doing it in a way that's aligned, something that you love with people that you care about, that's some of the most fun $11,000 you'll ever make. But you can also put 10 people at $24K and make $250,000. But it doesn't matter what that is, as long as it is aligned with the value. You are being of service and meeting them where they're at, regardless of the dollar figure. And that was a big lesson for me.
That is huge. It also reminds me that people who are in your mastermind, you become like a little family, right? Even no matter what you are, you're like family. And they care about each other and everybody wants to support. And then those fans of yours, some of them became my best joint venture partners and promotional partners in my own launch because they were such fans standing behind each other. Some of the people in my mastermind I now hired because they were such phenomenal people. Like I buy packages every year from some of my masterminders and they coach me. It's just, and it feeds your funnel. I can't, now that we're sitting here, I'm thinking about this. Mastermind is so damn hot because for so many reasons beyond the immediate, cool, I have cash flow now and I love coaching people. So for me, I like that one. I like intimate stuff. I'd much rather coach people deeply than coach millions of people and not really know what's going on for them. So, but beyond that, there's so much that comes out of masterminds that has fed me
Mhm.
And I also love them because they give, most of them, because you're like family, they start giving you very direct feedback on how to make your program more kick-ass. Like every year my programs change because of the feedback from my masterminders, because they love me and they just, you know, they're really good at asking, like, here's how I think you can make it better. Here's what you can tweak. And what I would really like is like, wow, cool, I'm making some kick-ass changes because of your feedback. Thank you so much.
And you said it's like family. It's interesting. So the model I teach and help people work through is that I have a kind of a unique twist on the mastermind piece, is that there are 3 elements that we're really trying to create in a mastermind. And it gets back to that mastermind being a bit of a spiritual process. But the first of which is we're doing our best to create what I would call familial support. And what I mean by that is, you know, anyone who's ever had Thanksgiving dinner with their family and has had those moments where you look across the table and you want to choke your brother-in-law or your sister-in-law or your mom or your dad, and it's like, oh. But you tell them the truth, and at the end of the night, you give them a hug and you wish them happy Thanksgiving, and if anything you could be or do for them, you would, right? It's that same thing in a mastermind. So familial support. Then the next piece that we work on, when that familial support is in place, is that every person in the mastermind brings all of themselves to it. That means their network, that means their experience, that means their wisdom, that means their resources. And they bring it for the benefit of the group, not just for the benefit of themselves. And then the third part is some kick-ass content. Like not huge content, but kick-ass content that helps people take that next step for them and engage and apply it. Or if failing that, at least being the most fascinating person at the next cocktail party. You know, like give them something that is of meaning. And when those 3 things are woven together, you know, I have people that have been with me for 22 years. Like in my online business breakthrough, there's a couple, they've been doing work with me for 22 years. So it is that piece of, if we can continue to crank up the value, if we can continue to have those conversations and create that environment, man, number 1, you don't have to sell a bunch of them. And number 2, when you do and you deliver, they're with you forever and a day. It simplifies your life so much, which is why, you know, between you and I thought this is kind of funny because, you know, we met, I guess, 3 years ago at a mastermind. And at that mastermind, because I have this personal development background, I had no idea what I was really going to do or go through this, you know, this partnering, this mastermind. I just didn't know. And this mastermind program came as a result of stuff we'd been doing for years that I hadn't even really recognized, noticed, or valued. And then we've put this together. The feedback has been outstanding. When we beta test the program, people were just like on fire. And then at this last mastermind, it's like people come out and say, that's a really hot topic. Yeah, I kind of wish I'd thought of that. Like, that's a really good idea.
I'm totally jealous about this.
and it literally happened by accident. And anyway, it's just a beautiful thing. And I guess the point that I want to say as clear as I can for any of you, any of your crew that is considering masterminds, is that it is the fastest, easiest route to scale. It is the community that you can build around you like that. And it is freedom in one simple addition to your business model. And if any of you are interested in doing that type of work, there is no one that has put together, well, no, frankly, I don't think there's anyone who has more experience than me at it. Number 1, I don't think there's anyone who's ever put together the amount of data that we have. Like if your crew has downloaded the Mastermind Mentors Manual, I mean, that 52 pages, I spent $15,000 refining, defining, testing, putting Mastermind Mentors through it, adjusting, throwing crap away, like, and we're just giving that away for free. That's the freebie, let alone the course. So anyway, I just want to really genuinely invite, if anyone's been thinking about it, for goodness sakes, click the button, do the course. In 90 days, the whole thing will be paid for. Done, paid for. In 90 days, if you follow the steps, your first month's income will, depending on your price point, will give you between a 500 to 1,000% return on investment. Like this is the most epic no-brainer in the universe if you want to scale your business. Anyway, come play. You'll love it.
I can't recommend masterminds enough. And trust me, because I know Jay and his background and we come from the same world, I think we came from part of the world that was really like part of the first real masterminds. And so, and I know the kind of courses that you facilitated. It's like on point, the most probably structured that anyone could find anywhere. And the fact that I know that you lay it out and you give everybody just everything you've already learned. I would say, you guys, this is turnkey because I had to figure all this crap out by myself. And there was a lot of epic fails along the way. And if any of you are thinking, like, I know some of you might be thinking, oh my God, a mastermind, it seems like so much content to create. I have to let you know, it is the easiest thing I facilitate. It requires the least amount of input of my time. It is the most enjoyable thing I deliver because it just feels freaking easy. I just told my other class that I'm teaching, my big launch class, like I say over and over, of my entire funnel, it's my most favorite thing that I deliver is my mastermind. Mm-hmm. So I say, if you are even contemplating it, any of you, I would go and learn this because it is the easiest thing to scale and the most enjoyable for you as a business owner, and gets such huge impact, like much more than any other program I deliver. It's the mastermind. And because I believe in it so wholeheartedly, that's the only reason I'm on the phone with Jay, because I'm about to do my own internal launch. I'm like, I should be working on my stuff, but this is so hot.
That's why I love you, Jeanna. I bow down to you. Yay, Jeanna.
I'm giving everybody who buys below, if you say yes to Jay's program, you're going to get my Happy Wealthy Lunch program. So it's a step-by-step, like, how do you have fun and launch something that's incredibly profitable, whether it's a mastermind or a different kind of program or a membership. I have launched so many different things. And what I've come to find out is launching is actually my most fun, creative process in all of my business. And I used to think that marketing was a 4-letter word. And so I was always like, hell no, I will not launch something. I used to curse about launching. And now I'm like, oh my God, it's so much fun. I love it. So I have a whole entire program to teach you how to do it. And then you're hooking up with Jay to get the whole mastermind thing. Plus he teaches you how to launch a crazy good mastermind. I say probably one of the better decisions you'll ever make in your business if you do the kind of work that we do. Honestly.
There's no question. So I just have to echo what you're talking about in terms of how exciting launches are. So we've never really done this kind of thing like this before. But, honest to God, I'm pushing 50. And it has been a very long time since I have wanted to or was willing to pull an all-nighter. And, the last 10 days, we've been on like 3 hours sleep. And I've been more excited than I've been in a really long time. So I just want to echo this idea of what it takes to focus our energy to serve and support our clients and bring something to the market in an effective way. I love that's the bonus that you're throwing in, Jeanna, because my anti-tech launching method of bring wine and we'll talk and we'll see, that works and it's cool. But we don't spend a lot of time on the other process of broader strategy, utilizing technology and all of the pieces that I think you're talking about. So honestly, it's a match made in heaven.
Awesome. And it's a $2,500 program. So you guys are going to be like knocking it out of the ballpark this year.
That rocks. So Jeanna, I know you got stuff to do. I know I certainly have some stuff to do. I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate you squeezing this in. Gang, if you're watching at home, I trust that this has expanded some of your ideas about what a mastermind is and how it can be rolled out for you. The long and the short of this is pick your positioning, position the group, position you. Why are you the leader of this group, and why? And what is your group members going to get out of it? And then you become the gatekeeper. You don't chase them, you become the gatekeeper. And then it's rolling the piece out. And we'll help you, we'll hold your hand, we will take you step by step through the process. It's a 12-week program, 6 modules, 7 live coaching calls that literally start at perfect positioning. When you get your positioning nailed, then we do our personal development work. So how do I become the leader that somebody wants to follow? Next piece is, how do I fill my mastermind? Then great, you got people who are in that. How do I facilitate it well? We do some of the best facilitator training on planet Earth, and we'll help you with that process. Then we deal with member commitment and making sure that they stick. And remember, it starts before the contracts. And then we end with creating compelling content. So it is everything you need to do it. And please come play. It'll knock your socks off, and it'll transform your experience of your business and the strength of your community and your bottom line profit. So on that note, click the button, come join us. Jeanna and I are going to continue to play, and I look forward to supporting what you're working on next, and anything I can do for you, just call.
Awesome. And just to say, the program, like, enrollment closes Thursday. What's the date? 23rd?
Yes, the 23rd. It's like, this is Wednesday, so the Thursday night, just to be clear about it. Yeah, Thursday night, we are done, and we're packed. like, and we're like already packed and it's selling like mad. So please don't let your stories get in the way. Actually, you know, can I just add one thing? Because I was thinking about this last night. A ton, like our engagement on our live trainings has been epic, like far better and far greater than I'd ever thought. I mean, I thought people just click the button and buy, and then we talk to them. Literally, we've had like thousands of emails, thousands. It's like, good God. So, anyway, but, you know, one of the most consistent things that I'm hearing from people is, I so want to do this. I have to do this. I'm going to add a mastermind, but you know what? I'm a little bit busy. And it's like, okay, I understand that, but are you busy at high leverage activities, or are you busy at low and no leverage activities? And it seems like every time I ask that question, people go, and it's like, if you're going to start, if you're going to begin to scale your business, the low and no leverage activities have got to go. And the only way for that to happen is you got to put your stake in the ground to take a stand for high leverage activities. And that's what masterminds are. So if anyone's sitting there, it's like, yeah, I'm going to get to that next year after I do this, 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 and this. That's probably a little on the nutty side. And you're probably finding yourself in what I would call the thick of thin things. So it's time to break the cycle. It's time to move yourself to high leverage activities. It's time to have the foundational income, exactly as Jeanna was saying, with fun, joy, and great people that you love. That's what this is about. So don't buy the I'm too busy BS story, because it's BS. And well, I could have said that harsher, but I just wanted to be clear. Like, but it's hard when we see it this way. And I just want to remind people that this isn't all there is. This is just what you've set up. And there's a whole nother level of scalability and leverageability that's above that.
Yeah, I was just thinking about how in my mastermind's always launch in the fall, just because that's the way my funnel works. And I always think it's so nice to know, like, if I just let everything else go and I just did my mastermind financially, I would be fine. I mean, that's such a relief, like as a mom and just someone who's really busy, because we were talking about how people get so busy, I can't do it. I'm thinking, then you really need to do this, because then you can leverage your time and everything becomes like, now I have more time to focus on doing my other projects and actually doing them well, rather than like being like, oh, I have another program. I gotta do this. You know, just being like all these random actions. I'm like, I have my staple item that gives me the space and room to do bigger things in the world. So there.
Hallelujah. All right. Thank you. I appreciate this time. I appreciate this conversation.
High
High five. I always with you and have time. So mucho gracias. We will talk soon. Good luck in your launch, and let me know how I can serve and support. And those of you sitting at home going, I wonder if I should, the answer is hell yes. Click the button, get
yes.
bonus, get ours, get it done.
Bam.
All right.
Bye, everybody.